In this video, I'll show you how to use the most commonly used relative pronouns who and that. Use who for people, and that is used for things and people. I know someone who works as a doctor. Here's the relative pronoun. It introduces this clause. This is an adjective clause, or you can call it a relative clause. Who works as a doctor. This is the adjective clause. It describes this pronoun, someone. This is the main clause. It has a subject, a verb, and this is an object. This part of the sentence describes someone. Who is this? Someone who works as a doctor. Or I can say, I know someone who is a doctor. This is the verb that matches the subject. I know someone, period. She is a doctor. Here are two sentences. It would sound better to replace she with the relative pronoun. I know someone who is a doctor. You could also use that. I know someone that is a doctor. In both cases, you could contract the subject with the verb. I know someone who's a doctor. I know someone that's a doctor. I bought something that was on sale. Here's the adjective clause for the word something. This is the subject, this is the verb. You could eliminate both, that and was. I bought something on sale. I bought something on sale. Or I bought something that was on sale. Both sentences are good. I know someone who or whom you can call. In this clause, the subject is you and the verb can call. This is the object. When who is in the form of an object, use whom. Except most people don't use whom. Instead, they use who. I know someone who you can call. You could also say, I know someone that you can call. Or take this off. When the relative pronoun is in the form of an object, it's optional. You don't need it. You still have the subject in the adjective clause. I know someone you can call. All of these sentences sound pretty good. I know someone you can call. I know someone whom you can call. I know someone who you can call. I know someone that you can call. All of these sound good. This is something that I need. Here's the relative pronoun that. It's used for this word, something, which is also a pronoun. Here is the adjective clause, or you can refer to this as a relative clause. It doesn't really matter. All of this provides information about something. In this clause, I is the subject and need is the verb. That functions as an object. So you can use that in this clause, but it is optional. If you take it out, it's okay. This is something I need. Or this is something that I need. She is someone who I work with. Here's the relative clause, or again, you can call it an adjective clause beginning with who. All of this provides information about someone, a person. In the clause, this is the subject, this is the verb, this is a preposition, and this pronoun is functioning as the object. In formal English, use whom. Most people use who instead of whom. Whom sounds very formal, but it is the correct choice. So you can say, she is someone who I work with, or she is someone whom I work with. And to be absolutely correct, you would take this preposition and put it before this pronoun and say, she is someone with whom I work. So that is 100% correct English, but it sounds a little bit formal, and most people don't use it. So we can go back to the original and say, she is someone who I work with. And that sounds pretty good. Everything that we brought on our trip fit into 2 bags. Here's the subject for the main clause. Here's the adjective clause that we brought on our trip. And here's the verb that matches the subject. If I take out the adjective clause, then it sounds like this. Everything fit into 2 bags. But this information is useful, so I include it for the subject, everything. In this clause, this is the subject and this is the verb. Here's a prepositional phrase. And this is the object. In an adjective clause or relative clause, the object that comes at the beginning is optional. We can eliminate this and just say everything we brought on our trip fit into 2 bags. That sounds good. Or everything that we brought on our trip fit into 2 bags. It is also possible to use which. For this lesson, I'm sticking with that. There are some other reasons to use which, but if you have a choice between which and that, I think this word is almost always easier. However, there are some good reasons to choose which.